Things might be finally looking up for college graduates and other entry-level job seekers. New data from LinkedIn UK shows that the job market is beginning to bounce back from the pandemic. So joining us now to tell us more is Janine Chamberlain. Janine is the UK country manager at LinkedIn. Great to speak with you, and thanks for joining us so late in your evening, Janine. As we just mentioned, things are looking good for job seekers in the UK. What's the biggest thing that's allowing young graduates to get hired at such high rates right now?
Hi, so thanks for having me, first of all. And absolutely, we're seeing some really positive signs right now. I think it's no exaggeration to say, though, that graduates and entry-level job seekers are entering the labor market in probably one of the toughest moments in a generation. If you look back 1 year ago, we could see that graduate hiring had fallen by about 23% in the UK. So we're really thrilled to see that right now, these numbers are coming up to pre-pandemic levels. And we're actually seeing the same trend in the US and in France, for example. So it's just really encouraging to see that there are a lot of jobs out there right now for graduates and entry-level job seekers.
Interesting. I'm glad you bring that up because I have a US-UK comparison question. The US seems like it hasn't rehired as quickly as the UK has, but offices are really opening up here. People are pushing their employees to get back into work. Does that tell us, and in the UK that hasn't been the case, I feel like more people are working remotely still. Does that tell us that more office reopenings don't necessarily equate to more jobs and a better economy overall?
I think the trend generally is showing that as economies are opening up, more hiring is going on and graduates are finding more jobs. But what we have to keep in mind is that it's a very competitive market out there right now. So the graduates from last summer, they might still be looking for jobs right now, and new graduates are actually graduating this summer. So although the numbers are trending back to pre-pandemic levels, I think we're just in a very competitive market. And I think there's a lot of things that grads can do to make sure that they stand out, that they can show the skills that they have. For example, on LinkedIn, you can do skills assessments and display a badge of the skills assessments that you've successfully completed, which really makes you stand out to an employer, or just signal to your network through our Open to Work feature that you are looking for a job. What we're seeing is that members who use this feature are more likely to hear from a recruiter by 40% and are more likely to get messages from their LinkedIn community by about 20%.
So zeroing in on remote work in the UK, to what extent does the ability to work from home impact a job seeker's choice about where they want to work? I'm hearing you talk a lot about what an employee can do to stand out, but does the employer need to be more flexible with allowing people to work from home to get young people excited about working there?
Yeah, I think if anything good has come from the pandemic, I think it is that sort of leveling of the playing field by allowing people to work remotely. So all of a sudden, the location is just not quite as important. And you're right, that does open up a much broader and more diverse talent pool. Equally, we work with a lot of organizations and encourage them to look at skills first and not just at formal qualifications or previous experience, because obviously there are a lot of young people right now who just haven't had the opportunity to get that experience in the last year. So by looking at skills, looking at potential, and allowing for that flexibility by adding in remote work to the mix, I think we do see a leveler playing field than we might have seen in the past.
Got it. And I know that we're also coming up on the 5-year mark of the Brexit referendum, and a lot of graduates might have been in school throughout that entire time period. How has that changed the job market for these entry-level workers?
I don't know if it has changed that much for entry-level workers, to be honest. I think there's still a lot to be seen because although it's been 5 years since the referendum, it's only since the beginning of this year, really, that some of these new rules and regulations have come into effect, because it's taken a long time to get to this point. So overall, what we are seeing is just very positive trends for graduates. There are jobs out there, particularly in digital roles, in technology roles, and we're seeing that is increasing at the moment.
Really important stuff there. Janine Chamberlain, thank you so much for joining us to talk about the state of the job market for young folks in the UK.